Peace, what's good? Yo, listen. All right, so as you see, the only way to restore the black race, why do I have that up? It's because it's so many people out here right now that I feel like with what I'm about to bring to the table, you know, they need to know it could change your life, man. Put you on a path, that the ancestors want you to walk, man. Um, this spiritual warfare that's been going on is getting on my nerves, and it's like nobody really has dug into other sources of spirituality of African descent, right? And I'm bringing Mayat to the table because right now it really seems as though this is the only way for our people to straighten ourselves up, get ourselves together. And one of the things that I feel that is a real big problem is the lack of information that we have about our true nature. And I'm bringing the 42 divine principles of Maya to your attention because this deals with the true nature of the black man and woman, right? All over the planet Earth, right? You're familiar with the 10 commandments when they say, thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not. So when you tell somebody, thou shalt not, that's basically, you did it. And I'm telling you, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So that shows you a person's nature. Thou shalt not. It's a lot of thou shalt nots that should just be really common sense, right? So when we get into the 42 divine principles of Maya, it says, I have not. So that shows the true nature of the black man and woman on the planet Earth. The first principle of Maya, it says, I have not committed sin. The second one is, I have not committed robbery with violence. The third one is, I have not stolen. The fourth one is, I have not slain men or women, right? The fifth one is, I have not stolen food. The sixth principle is, I have not stolen from God or goddess. Now, I'm just showing you our nature is not to do certain things. And it wasn't until we were put into a certain position to do the opposite of Maya. And if your oppressor, if your slave master, if your whoever, is in control of you, they know this about you. And their whole job is to what? Turn you against your original self in order to be made into what they want you to be, and that's a nigga, right? And we use the word nigga as a term of endearment. Not mad at that at this point, you know what I'm saying? Never been mad at it, you feel me? But, nah, guys, that's a whole different topic. I'm trying to stay on this one right now. But the 42 divine principles, man, I feel like this is what we need because you see those people behind me, you see the ancestors, you see the color. Like we have been told, right? Now, this is ancient. This is way before any Torah, any Bible, any Quran, right? This is ancient. Our spiritual system has always been in place. This is ancient. And by the way, if you type in Maya on the website, the only way to restore the black race will pop up, right? And you'll get a chance to read, you know what I'm saying, and understand the principles for yourself, right? But I'm here to bring this to your attention because, like I said, it's something that I feel is most needed because when you go to church, they tell you what? Oh, you curse. You're a black person, you curse. So that means that the hood is going to be the hood as long as we keep dealing with the Christian religion. or Catholicism or anything European made pretty much that doesn't really benefit you. That book was given to us during a time of slavery, during a very toxic time in our life, you know what I'm saying? So we're supposed to grow out of things, right? And there are a lot of people that have brought philosophies and, you know, theories, but the truth has always been on the continent, right, of Africa. It's a lot of countries inside of Africa. It's a lot of information, a lot of jewels. It's a lot of everything in Africa that most countries outside of Africa just simply don't have. And if I go back into time and I think about anywhere from the first dynasty all the way up until the last dynasty, we've had over 30 dynasties, y'all. And they like to talk about the 18th dynasty a lot. And just in my opinion, that's really when the Europeans started getting their foot in the door. You feel me? Now, there's a lot of discrediting for African Americans over here, right? A lot of people try to say we don't have no ties to anybody over there. You got some of them retarded Africans, you know what I'm saying? Peace to the real ones over there that's fighting for the freedom of the people and and the preservation of the culture. But for you idiots to say that we're not the same, you're an idiot, yo. It's just the fact that we speak English and you speak what you speak. So scientifically, you know what I'm saying, we're all of the same place, yo. And I'm not including any other race. I'm not talking about them because they have no ties into our DNA, right? So the original man, right, that's over here in the wilderness of North America, we have been told that, oh no, you're not the same as them. So they're trying to cut off our ties to where we actually really come from. Meanwhile, they're digging up bodies, disturbing our ancestors' graves, right? Our ancestors preserved everything because they were coming back. And then the European decides, well, we're going to dig them up, basically rob them, put them on display. Now, what if I went over to Europe and did the same thing? Start digging up dead white people and putting them in a museum that's owned by Black people? I'm going to get locked up, yo. That's just the way that works, right? But that's our ancestors. And the ones that are over there on the continent, you're not doing a good job preserving anything. You've been talked out of every and anything, right? So today, I want to shine some light and help end a lie. And I'm going to show and prove how we have ties over in Kemet. I'm going to show and prove. Church teaches us that we're cursed. And then there's so much death and violence in the hood. Nobody is coming to your rescue, Black man and woman, because you're cursed. That's what Christianity, Catholicism, the Torah, the Bible, that's what all those books say. But our first spiritual system on the planet is from us, right? So if I existed before those books, if my culture, my people, my everything existed before those books, how are you going to tell me I'm cursed when I lived, right, and was born in abundance? Europe doesn't grow anything. The Turkish mountains, they don't grow nothing. But when you see Africans flourishing, you see the people behind me, our ancestors, that's what we look like while those who lived in caves. You know what I'm saying? Those that lived in caves had nothing. We had gold sandals. We had just look behind me right now. You see the science right there. This is older than anybody, right? So what I'm saying is, when you walking around in all that fur, because you killed the animal to keep warm, right? We were already in a place where we were warm. The Nile, we growing food. We doing astrology, right? We writing on the walls, right? We showing and proving about our deities, our existence, and how we came to be. So this Christian thing is out of control. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong to be a Christian, yo. If that's what floats your boat, that's what floats your boat, yo. But everybody not into that. Everybody don't want to deal with that. Jesus ain't for everybody. And let me just explain something to y'all, how to show and prove to you that Jesus didn't exist. First off, during the time of Yeshua, right? Now I want you to understand this. Jesus, Jesus, right? There was no English language during that time, which means that the letter J didn't exist. Common sense. You have to study. You got to do the knowledge, man. I'm not here to preach to nobody, but you fall for everything because you don't know nothing. You're going to let somebody tell you that you're cursed, that your naughty hair is a curse, that your skin is a curse. My skin and my hair are divine. My skin absorbs sunlight that feeds and nourishes me like a plant. My hair is the highest vibration. It's in the form of DNA. It's in the form of how things travel through the universe. Things travel in spiral forms. Living, right? So when you tell me I'm cursed, if I was cursed truly, then I would have skin cancers and skin diseases, which I don't have. My people, we don't go through that. So how is having melanin a curse? Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody on the planet has some form of melanin, right? But nobody has the same melanin as the African. We is special something, yo. We already divine. We born divine, yo. And peace to that God. Peace to born divine. Peace to BMG. Peace to the Yakuza. Peace to Wu-Tang Management, yo. Right? Peace to my man Ronnie. My man. Yo, we be building, right? And at this point in time, in 2022, we all are a bit tired of you lazy-minded people, yo. And that's just the truth of it all. You're going to tell your children that a white God cursed them, low self-esteem. The sisters is going to the Asians to get hair that hangs down, that's straight, that doesn't even fit your description of living, right? Our sisters are having low self-esteem because they're trying to participate in a European beauty standard that has nothing to do with us. That's slavery within itself. It seems like you have to assimilate into another's culture in order to get some type of bag or something, yeah. And as far as for money being concerned, I could care less. I'm not saying I'm not making it, I'm saying I'm not trying to, have any wealth. What I'm saying is it's a lot of things that people go through to acquire wealth or whatever they consider wealth. right? And they have to get rid of some things about themselves. I'm not getting rid of nothing, yo. My people's not getting rid of nothing. It's almost as bad as a woman going to a job and having to perform some type of sexual ritual for the boss, you know what I'm saying, or boss says, in order to climb the ladder. Black people have been doing things to climb the ladder that we shouldn't. And it's a lot of you gatekeepers out here that have put our people in predicaments where they can't grow, where they can't progress. And I don't know why a lot of you Negroes, so-called Negroes, feel like it's okay to oppress your own people because you're getting what type of benefit? Our ancestors are watching y'all, yo. And no matter how much you try to do the brother love thing, Diddy, you're giving out bad contracts, baby. Jay, come on, yo. Kanye confused, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of you dudes confused. The people that really got the information, yo. I could say information. The information, yo. We found out a lot of you dudes is Masons, yo, and you trying to do your own little thing now with that weak science, yo. And at the end of the day, it's like, let's be real. They're gonna come to collect. And that's all on you, you know what I'm saying? But the divine principles, the 42 divine principles, yo, they show you our original nature, right? Let me just read a couple or more. I got it here, you feel me? I have not stolen from God or goddess. That's number 7. Number 8, I have not been exclusively angry. Number 9, I have not cursed God or goddess. Number 10, I have not behaved with violence. I have not caused disruption of peace. Love and hip hop, toxic. A lot of these shows are toxic that have Black people on them, disturbing the peace. You know what I'm saying? Acting violent. Because a lot of our people suffer from mental illness. A lot of people not talking about that neither. And a lot of mental illnesses have YouTube channels and Instagram pages and et cetera, et cetera. It's serious out here right now. We had a spiritual war. And y'all are losing because you keep using the white man's spiritual system that told you that you're cursed. I don't mean no harm. It never resonated with me. I went to Sunday school, Bible school, Catholic school, church. I mean, I did all that, man, coming up, man, and it just never fit me. But then I started hearing truth about myself, and it led me to where I am now. But a lot of us, because we feel like we have to be loyal to family, you're going to keep subjecting yourself and your children and your children's children to slavery, mental slavery. Your God don't look like you. He's not in your favor. He said you curse, and you're still dealing with that book. The Quran backs it up. Torah most definitely. And don't let me get into the Talmud or the Talmud or whatever you want to call it. They try to say we don't have no ties to Africa. That's crazy. They try to say that, you know, you're just an American Negro, yeah, right? What are you talking about Kemet or Africa for? My ancestors are from there. I have something that I'm going to show you. I hope it makes a difference in your thinking, because a lot of these so-called scholars keep using words like we and human. And I'm not even going to get into the human part, but let's just go with we right now. When we were in Egypt, you must be talking about that like the 18th dynasty, white man. Because like I said, it's when y'all pretty much got your foot in the door. But what about the first, the fifth, the sixth, you know, so the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And these dynasties lasted for long times, very long periods of time. Look at the skin tone on our ancestors, dark skinned people, yo, not European descent, Coptic, none of that, right? You have Indians out here darker than me, but they got stringy hair. The science on that is we're not the same. You can tell who the divine are by the hair texture. Our hair holds the highest vibration out here. But they have our women going to the Asians to go get lace fronts. Ladies, stop fronting. For real. Lace fronts, yo, you fronting, yo. If you really loved yourself as a Black woman, you would just embrace what they call kinky, right? You would braid it, you would dread it, right? And you would show and prove your real personality. But you're participating in a European beauty standard, and you're Black, right? So at the end of the day, it's like a lot of you are fake in essence of spiritual shit and keeping it real with yourself. I hear Black dudes talk about my man cave and all that. First off, dude, we wasn't in no caves, nigga. We were in Africa where it was warm. The Europeans were in the mountains and the hillsides where it was cold and nothing grows. So about time they really started getting themselves together, they peeped what we were doing and they wanted some. They wanted a piece. They wanted to be like us because they were starving. Now, I'm not going to get into how they looked during that time frame. And I have a lecture geared towards that. So it's coming up soon, but it's a sensitive lecture. I'm really trying to see if I should drop it on Patreon or something like that or what have you, but it's a serious lecture. And it's all revolving around what Charles Darwin's theory is about. And remember, people, with theory isn't a fact, y'all. But you have these people that are making the theory fact, right? And the fact remains is that we're the first on the planet. We're the first spiritual system holders. We studied the stars. We plotted everything. We did everything. The planet Earth belonged to the original man and woman. That's why you find our artifacts all over the planet Earth. So to question, are we, the American Blacks, the Black Americans, right over here in the wilderness of North America, do we have any ties to over there, right? Can we claim anything? Because they keep telling us like, no, you're not this, you're not that, you're just an American Black. Well, I have something that's going to make all that a lie. Now, like I said, they dug up our ancestors, put them in museums, robbed us of our wealth that was stored in the graves, in the tombs, and then put us on display. And I have information to back all that up as well. But me, myself, what if I went over to Europe and just started digging up dead white people and putting them in the museum that's owned by Black people, or putting Europeans in the dead Europeans in a museum in Africa on display? Man, they be coming for me, man. They be trying to lock me up, trying to do all kinds of stuff, right? But yet, it's cool for you to dig up my ancestors. And I know some Europeans, whoever you are, that might be looking at this going, yo, what is he talking about? Black people this, Black people that. Elizabeth Taylor was looking stupid as, with the wig on, playing, what I'm saying, Cleopatra, all that, right? You look stupid trying to be an Egyptian. Don't y'all get skin cancer from the sun? So how can you even lay claim to something that doesn't even, help you out in the long run? You stay in the hot areas where we're at, you're liable to get skin cancer. You're liable to suffer a whole lot of, just dis-ease because your skin can't handle it. But they say my skin is a curse. It absorbs sun rays. Our skin reacts like solar panels, and we get fed information in the form of light. Our brothers and sisters go crazy during the summertime. That's why, but they don't understand that concept. We have to teach this information so that way we can understand that we absorb so much sunlight that we get powered up like a battery and we just everywhere. But that power needs to be controlled in a positive manner, right? So my skin is not a curse. My hair is not a curse. I'm not cursed. But the Bible, Torah, and the Quran says we're cursed. It's funny how those three books say we cursed, and all three of those books, right? They own slaves. We were slaves in all those books to the people that run those religions. Bilal in Islam was a slave, but he was allowed to call the Adam. We got cursed because of Noah being naked, man. Yo, tell that fairy tale to somebody else, B. Right? Come on, we got to stop believing, and we have to know things now. You have the older people in the church trying to grab hold of the youngest, and I'm not saying that they wrong for what they're doing, but you're wrong, because the ones that's trying to grab hold of the youngest, you got high blood pressure, diabetes, right? Church dinners, a lot of them not healthy. And for you so-called Black conscious people that's in the church, you're not conscious because you're in the church. No more, no less. Our people are spiritual people, so we're going to, gravitate towards things that, are spiritual because of the lack thereof, not knowing that we are the true spiritual people. I can show and prove that, like I said, through the 42 divine principles of Maya. Bring your Torah, bring your Bible, bring your Quran, and you cannot mess with me as long as I have these 42 principles. And that's in my DNA. The average Black person that's a murderer and a killer out here, that's not their nature. It's the situations that they've been put in that turned them to that. And I've seen the hardest killers crack a smile and make jokes and hug and love each other and love people, yo. So you can't tell me about my people. We just been put in conditions that made us into these things that are the opposite of Maya. Maya tells you our true nature. Let me pick it up again. I'm gonna skip around a little bit. Oh, that's 30 minutes. I'm gonna extend this a little bit. All right. So let me see. Let me find a good one. Let me find a good one real quick. All of them are good. Number 6. I'm gonna go back to number 6. I have not swindled offerings. Hey, Mr. Preacher Man. Hey, Mr. Minister Man. How many offerings have you swindled from the people? With your big planes, your jets, and your cars, you know what I'm saying? Your big houses. You living in a manner that is, wealthy. But your congregation, they don't have what you have. From my understanding, we deal with equality. So true equality means that we all have equal portions, or, we work to get that. We have the ability to manifest that. So it's not a true value of equality, you know what I'm saying, in these churches and these mosques and these, synagogues, man. Devils will never want you to be equal with them, ever. They want to hold all the wealth and hold all the knowledge and control everything. Land, sea, and air is not controlled by the original man anymore in the manner of it being controlled today. When we had our hands on it all, when we had our minds on it, when we had our energy, our spirit on everything, that was the true, as they say, go green. We utilized the planet's energy, resources. Pyramids were the first form of Wi-Fi. So I'm saying, man, it's like, listen, I said pyramids was the first form of Wi-Fi, and I know a lot of you illiterate, right, people about your own culture probably was like, yo, what you mean the first forms of Wi-Fi? The points on top of the pyramids have double helixes leaving out of them. Shining energy, you feel me? At the top, sending energy, yeah. And there are enough artifacts around Egypt that shows that those obelisks and other artifacts were help capturing the energy. We had batteries and light bulbs. I know you don't know this, but you know it now. Nothing new under the sun. A lot of you are hypnotized and you're under a spell because you really think you're cursed. And the hood is not going to get any type of real upliftment, you know what I'm saying? Because we're supposed to be in this position according to those books. I'm not cursed, yo. You're not cursed. But if that's the way that you want to play it, then you're cursed then. Do you? Don't put me in the same category as you. Don't do that. We need Jesus. First off, like I said, the letter J didn't exist. You got to do the knowledge, man. It's just sad. It's very sad to know that Europeans are claiming our culture. And a lot of us are just letting it happen. So let me just show you something, right? Now, we went through some of the divine principles, 42 divine principles in my app, went through some of those, right? So let me show you how I'm going to kill that lie that the American Blacks are just the American Negroes, and we have no tie to Africa or anything of that nature. I came back. And what I mean by I came back, right? I was here before. A lot of us were. A lot of us came back. But I told you, I said, our ancestors, they come back. They wanted to come back. They preserved their bodies. I don't know if you ever heard of a car door. It's a spirit door where the spirit would exit through that door. And when it was time for that spirit to come back, he would come through that car door and get into that vessel. But because the bodies are gone, another way had to be manifested. So like I said, I'm back. I'm here. What is he talking about? Right. Let me show you. Now listen. I'm not trying to spook nobody out, but it's time that we end the lies and the deception of Europeans stealing our culture. Like if I was just talking to a European right now about how Egypt, that's us, right? Africa, all that, that's us. They would try to find some way to discredit what I'm saying based on their so-called scholarship. So without further ado, let me show you that your scholarship is bullshit. Let me show you. See that guy right there? That's me. See that? That's me. His name is Sahure from the 5th dynasty of Egypt. Pharaoh Sahure from the 5th dynasty of Egypt. Anybody that knows me, when they saw this, they said, wow. Now, my mother and my father knows what their son looks like. My mom said, my earth said, right? She said, how you get your face on that? Enough said. I came back because why? Our information is stored in our DNA. We coming back in families. I didn't look for this picture. It found me through studies. And I know what I look like. So that's why I have this picture, because it's proof, it's evidence that we come back, that we came back, that we are coming back. And for all you sellouts, the ancestors are not happy with you at all. All of y'all have your time, yo. You get in the bag now, Diddy. You get in the bag now, Jay. All y'all living wealthy. Nas, you turned down the boycott of the Grammys. But, you know I can. Come on, yo. You have no power because you're being funded by people that don't support real information, original information. Okay? That's the problem. It's an illusion. It's all an illusion. Like I said, anybody that knows me, they know what I look like. I'm back. I'm back, yeah. I'm back, yeah. So for all you people, Europeans and your scholarship, you got a couple of Europeans that will tell the truth. So I'm not going to discredit that. But for the ones that don't, no more lies, yo. No more lies. I just killed that. I show and prove. That's actual facts right there. I show and prove every time. My Facebook has that picture on it. People found my Facebook, they like, oh, okay. And then when I explain to them who he is, they really just be like, wow. We come back, yo. We coming back in our families, yo. You see it? This my other line right here, right? It's my other line, yo. It's called Black God. Coming soon. Villain Apparel, of course, is always going to be here. But I had to make a comedic line as well. Because like I said, we coming back, we're here, we're going to be here, and we've always been here. There's no way to get around it. So I hope that you learned something. I hope that I was able to teach you something, you know. Maya, 42 divine principles. And before I get out of here, let me just read this to you real quick. So many people ask, what can we do as Black people to get back to our original selves? The answer is in the question. You must ask yourself, what is my original self? Your original self is the you before Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Before any religion existed, you were here. You were the first spiritual people on this planet. You spoke the first words of creation. By your hand, planets and stars moved. Your word gave life everlasting. You were born in a continent, right? With all that you needed. We lived in abundance. The Nile River gave us almost everything, if not everything we needed to sustain ourselves and flourish. The first spiritual system on earth ever created started in Kemet. When this system was formed, only Kemetic people walked on this planet they call Earth. If you as a Black person feel like you know your history, then you will know and understand that Jesus wasn't the only person who has been resurrected from a physical death. And with that being said, Jesus' resurrection was nothing but a European version of our true Kemetic history. Jesus is really our God Osiris. Kemetic people have been on this planet for longer than 6,700 years, yo. I have a lecture that starts 445,000 years ago. I'm dealing with that information. Now, I can't say the same for any culture, for any other cultures, but you know, it's time, yo. It's time for us to really understand what has been beating us up mentally and spiritually, physically, all that. So back to the original question, right? What can we do as a Black people to get back to our original selves? The answer is we must restore Maya. It's the only way. Nothing else is working. I'm sorry. You got a church on this corner, a church on that corner, a bar there, a bar there. Drug selling going on in these areas. There's no mystery God there. The only gods that are there are the Kemetic gods that have been put in position to sell that stuff, man. They got God over here and all over the planet Earth doing things that are opposite of Maya, and they know it. Ain't the devil happy? So I'm getting ready to get out of here, right? Sometimes it's hard for me to just, you know, stop doing these lectures because I get real passionate about it. But at the end of the day, people, you know, look up my yacht, study it. I'm out. Peace.